Hello students. In our today's class, we will study watching of sales. Okay. So while watching the sales, it might be either your cash sales or your credit sales. The auditor should keep the following points in his mind. So first one, he has to check the supporting documents. Okay. So he has to check the copy of cash memo or the sales bill of the client. Okay. So whatever sales are being made, he has to check the bills of that particular transaction. Then he has to check the copy of delivery challan, transporter's bill and octroi receipt if it is paid by the client. Okay, so if it is related to the client, at that time he has to check the transportation bill also. Okay, then suppose if it is the case of your export transaction, okay, at that time he has to check the bill of lading. Okay, then he has to check the custom duty receipt and the bank advice showing the remittance received in rupees after conversion of the foreign currency at exchange rate. So what is the exchange rate? Okay, so while exporting, what was the rate? Okay, what was the foreign exchange rate and how and what is the value in the Indian rupees? So he has to check it also. Okay, then he must also check the particulars of the bill. Okay, that is, he has to check the name of the concern, name of the client, whatever the name is there, whether it is of the client or no. Okay, he has to check the date. Okay, so he has to check the date, whether to check out whether it is related to the current year or whether it is related to the previous year. Okay, so if it is of previous year, then he should not watch that particular invoice or bill. Okay, then he has to check the serial number, he has to check the amount in words and figure, quality of sales and sign on the bill. Okay, then next one, he has to check out that there are no errors of commission or omission. So errors of commission, it occurs when a transaction is entered wrongly. Okay, so he has to check each and every transaction very carefully. Omission means when the transactions are omitted or skipped. It might be either wholly or it might be either partly. Okay, so in order to avoid the errors of commission and omission, he has to check the transactions properly. Okay, so he has to check that there is no kind of manipulation or misappropriation of transaction and accounts. Okay, so there are no frauds occurred. So if they are occurred, so he has to examine it very critically. Then he has to see whether he has to check out the guidelines issued by ICAI. Okay, so as regard to the cash and credit sale, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, it has issued the following guidelines. Okay, that is, sales should include sale of all kind of products manufactured by the concern, including the byproducts. Okay, suppose if the company has some byproducts and all, okay, at that time it should show the sales of each and every transaction, each and every product. Okay, no matter whether it is a main product or whether it is a byproduct. So whatever sales are being made, whatever the transactions are showed, it should include the sale of each and every product which are produced by that particular company. Okay, so he has to check out whether all the transactions related even to the byproducts are entered or no. Then no adjustment shall be made in the sales account which do not relate to sale. Okay, so only the adjustment relating to sales account is to be made. Okay, so other entries, whether they are made or no, he has to check it. If it is made, then he has to correct that. Okay, then trade discount can be deducted from sales. Then commission to agent in sales should not be deducted from sales. So from the total sales amount, whatever the commission is paid to the agent, okay, on sales and all, it should not be deducted from the sales. Okay, then comply with Companies Act. Kindly make it as comply. Okay, so according to section 297 of the Companies Act 1956, sales made to the concern in which a director is interested should be sanctioned by a resolution of board of directors. Okay, so here interested director means what? Suppose if the director has to make the sale for any concern, okay, maybe for himself, okay, or suppose he is the one who is going to purchase, or for his relatives, okay, or maybe for his private firm, or maybe his corporate, okay, or it might be in his any contract. Okay, so that director is called the interested director. Okay, so there is a personal interest of that particular director in that sale. Okay, so he has to so such resolutions, okay, suppose if there is interested director, then it should be sanctioned by a resolution of the board of directors. Okay, so the board of directors should check should pass a resolution saying that the sales is to be made to that particular director. Okay, so here whatever the resolutions are made, it will be registered in your minute book. Okay, so whatever is been discussed in the meeting, okay, so everything will be registered by the secretary in the minute books. So the auditor has to check the minute book also and the contract register, okay, whether the resolution was passed for the interested director, okay, whether the sales made to the interested director was been discussed, was been passed by the special resolution in the board meeting or no. Okay, so he has to check it. Then disclosure of information, schedule 6. So the information regarding value and quantities of items sold should be disclosed as per the requirement. Okay, so what is the quantity you are selling and to what amount you are selling it. Okay, so the price and the quantity should be disclosed properly. Okay, then earning regarding foreign exchange from export should be disclosed separately. Okay, so whatever the foreign exchange earnings are there, that should be shown separately in the heads of account. Okay, then audit report. Okay, so in the audit report, the auditor has to mention the following points. Okay, so first he has to mention about the internal control. Under the Companies Act, the auditor has to report whether there is adequate internal control on the sale of goods. Okay, so internal control, what are the compliances of the company. Okay, so what it is following. So he has to see to it that whether whatever the internal control is being implied, okay, whether it is implied properly regarding to the sale of goods or no. So he has to check it. Then rate charged to the group of concern. If the sale of the group of concern exceeds rupees 50,000 during the year, then the auditor should mention it in his audit report. Okay, so he has to mention it if the sale exceeds rupees 50,000. So this particular topic, okay, watching of sales, it might be either your cash sales or credit sales. You can expect it for 5 marks. Okay, continuously, repetitively they have asked this particular question. So kindly don't ignore this particular topic. Okay, then comes receipt from debtors. Okay, so this again it is really very important. You can expect it for 5 marks or in your 15 marks section as well. Okay, so as regard to receipt from debtors, the auditor should check the following points. Okay, again the first thing over here is he should check the internal check. Okay, that is he should examine the receipt of internal check. Okay, so what are the rules relating to internal check. Okay, so what are the guidelines, what are the policies related to internal check, whether they are right or no regards to receipt from debtors. Okay, so whatever money you are receiving from, whatever amount you are receiving from the debtors, whether they are received as per the compliances, as per the guidelines of the company or no. So he has to check the internal check first. Okay, then he should check the carbon copies of the receipt. So whatever receipts are made, okay, suppose if there is any counterfoil, okay, that is suppose if there are any receipts that are torn off, okay, or if there are any duplicates of that particular receipt, he has to check the carbon copies. Okay, then if any discount granted, it should be according to the policy of the concern. So whatever the discount is granted or rebate is granted, so it must be as per the policy. Okay, so it will be pre-decided by the company how much rate of discount is to be given to the debtors and all. Okay, so he has to check out whether the discount given, whether it is same or no as per the policy or no. Okay, then the amount received from the debtors should be deposited. So whatever amount is received by the debtors, it should be deposited in the bank. Okay, then check serial number of the receipt with cash entry appearing in the cash book. So once when you have received, okay, so first you are going to enter in the cash book, okay, about the debtors and all. So you have to check the serial number, whether it is in the right serial number or no. Okay, so with the cash entry you have to cross verify in the cash book as well as in the entries made. Then see that unused receipt books are kept in the safe custody. Okay, so if there are any unused receipt books and all, whether they are in the safe custody or no, so he has to check it. Then bad debt recovery is properly accounted for. Okay, sometimes what happens is whenever bad debts are there, those will be written off. Okay, so sometimes whenever, if later after writing off, if it is paid by the debtors, at that time you have to allocate it in the proper account heads only. Okay, then checks received should be deposited in the bank. then see that there is no misappropriation of the cash. So whenever the cash is received from the debtors, the auditor should see that it is been deposited in the bank and not used by any staff for their personal use. Okay, suppose if the debtors the amount received to be received from the debtors was say 20,000, okay, and if the debtors have paid it, then the one who has received it, he should not keep it for himself. Okay, so the auditor should check whether the amount received, whether it is proper, okay, whether it was properly deposited in the bank or no. So he has to check each and everything to ensure that there was no misappropriation of the cash. Then he should get confirmation from debtors regarding balances. Suppose if there are any balances of the debtors and all, he should contact them. Okay, he should make the confirmation regarding the balance. Okay, so when are they going to pay, or what is the balance, so he has to make the confirmation. Okay, so I hope these things are clear to you all. So thank you, have a nice day.